everybody. Welcome to our Cadence session for today. I am Allison Geisinger. I am the Vice President of Development and Events at Powered by Professionals. Powered by Professionals is an event management and fundraising firm which specializes in nonprofit events. So we handle galas, run walks, golf outings, a bunch of different events. And as of 2020, we started taking on a bunch of virtual events recently and soon to be hybrid events. So we are looking forward to discussing with you today a little bit about the nonprofit world and our perspective on it.
Hi, I'm Shauna Gamer. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Project Mori, which is a youth development nonprofit that works with kids from under-resourced communities in the tri-state area. We provide academic support and leadership development to kids from 4th grade all the way through the first year of college. And I'm here today. My responsibilities include all of our revenue and fundraising. On the business operations side, we do 2 primary events a year. We have a spring Young Professionals and we have a fall annual gala. And like last year, like most of the world, we had to go hybrid. And that is how we got involved with our partnership with Powered by Professionals and also with Cadence.
So to get started today, we're going to jump into the topic of the nonprofit perspective, and that will be discussing the challenges, transitions, and what's ahead in the nonprofit sector in the world of virtual fundraising experiences. The first thing to mention is the transition that happened in 2020. So like most of the world, we unexpectedly had to pivot quickly in 2020 with events in the fundraising world. We had a bunch of live events planned for 2020 in the spring and the fall, and we needed to quickly, unfortunately, either cancel those events or turn them virtually. So we made that transition, and a lot of that resulted into creating virtual events. When changing over these events to virtual, we had a lot of questions that we needed answers for. And some of those questions to get started were, how do we make sure that everyone is fully engaged and understands the virtual instructions and the platform? Obviously, we're dealing with a wide range of an audience. So how do we make sure that everybody that is joining this event is going to understand how to log in, how to use the platform, to make sure they're comfortable in doing so. So that was something we needed to address right away. Another thing was, how do we engage the audience through a computer screen rather than being in person? We're all used to attending events in person inside a venue where you see face-to-face interaction. So it was a big change to now go virtually through a computer. So how do we still get that relationship, that in-person feel, and bring everyone together in the room virtually? And then another question that we needed to address was, how do we create a program virtually now versus in person? By doing so with incorporating live content, recorded content, to include a live appeal, a live auction, a raffle. So how do we make that happen professionally and successfully in this virtual world?
Yeah, so this was actually a huge for us. We'd obviously never done a virtual event before. And this was a huge challenge for us. And so we were very concerned about some of the technology challenges. We have sort of many different generations of people with lots of different comfort levels of with technology who attend our in-person events. So we wanted to make sure that we were going to be using a platform and a tool that was really user-friendly, which was one of the big reasons why we decided to go with Cadence, and also a tool that was going to create an experience that was help us recreate the community that we have when we have an in-person event. And that was also a big draw for why we chose Cadence. One of the ways that we addressed some of those challenges, which was really a big credit to Powered by Professionals and also to Cadence, was creating user guides and navigation guides that we posted both on our Cadence site and then also shared with our guests ahead of time, ahead of the event. We did know before you go emails. We did a lot of calls with our board and our event committee in advance, where we were able to take them through the whole Cadence platform so they would know what to expect and they could answer their guests' questions. And we really found that it was pretty seamless. Like, we were worried about people wanting to log in and create a login and, you know, doing something that was different than just logging into a Zoom. But, you know, we really didn't have that many technical hiccups the day of, which was fantastic. And I think that people really, really enjoyed some of the additional things that we had. Like, we had a virtual photo booth, which was super fun. We got this great this great mosaic of all of the photos that we've been able to use in all kinds of our marketing. We also had VIP breakout rooms. We used the breakout rooms feature so that we had like a VIP reception, even though it was virtual. And we were able to have our executive director and our honorees participate with some of our guests and our sponsors. And then we also used the breakout room feature as sort of digital tables for our guests, where they were able to come together with their guests, just like they would at the table, at a dinner table at the event. They were able to do that before the event, and then we reopened them after the event. And people were pre-assigned. And this was actually, I think, one of the best features of the event, because people were able to really like see their friends. It was our 25th anniversary in 2020 as an organization. So we had people who, alumni from all 25 years. We had guests from all across the country. We had some international folks who were able to attend and participate in those breakout rooms, and it became kind of mini reunions. And people just really enjoyed them, and it helped make the experience very special.
Great. And like Shauna said, having all these components to this virtual event really brought the community together. It did the best it could in having everyone feel like they're together in an event, but not being able to attend in a room. But there's always going to be cons along with the pros for having a virtual event. But to focus on the pros of having a virtual event, it does allow for more guests to be able to join and support the cause, being that you're not in a venue space, and you're able to expand that network, expand the capacity of how many people you can include. You can also grow beyond having it be just local to that area. And in that room, you can expand it to different chapters. You can have it be nationally or globally. So you can really bring a community together a lot wider by having a virtual event. And then that being said, you are also potentially able to offer a lower ticket cost and have others attend who might not be able to afford to attend in the past. By cutting down on the food and beverage costs, the venue costs, you're able to allocate some of your budget to go towards different aspects of the event. You're able to bring in different entertainment, production, and then again, lowering some ticket costs and opportunities for people to attend. And then another element to having a virtual event is you are now creating all this virtual content by having a virtual program and creating pre-recorded videos, by having marketing pieces that are going out beforehand or afterhand. You are going to have all this content that you're able to utilize after the event takes place. You can put it on your website. You can include the recorded video of the program in your thank you email blast. So if people were not able to attend during the actual program itself, they're still able to receive the link and visit the page and see what took place that evening. And one great thing about Cadence is that the page is still live after the event takes place for a short period of time. So if anyone was not able to attend that evening, they can still go in the hours after. They can still see the page, see the sponsor support, see the live feed, and still be able to attend the event on their own time frame. And then additionally, with Cadence, you're able to view the page and come to the event beforehand. So it really builds this community leading up to the event. It gets everyone excited. It builds the momentum. So that was a great feature that a lot of our clients enjoyed in 2020, was to build this community base and expand the awareness of their organization, their cause.
Yeah, I think that those are all super important. I mean, one thing that I would also emphasize is with the cost savings, they were really very significant. And as a nonprofit, that's really important to us. I mean, I think Cadence was really great with working with us on our package. And so generally for our event, we have a pretty high return net on our revenue between 75 and 80%, which is very good for a nonprofit event. But we were able to do close to 90% with the virtual event, which was amazing. And it really allowed us to be able to expand the groups of people that we were able to include. We didn't, for us, we didn't change our sponsorship packages or our ticket prices, but what it did was allow us to be able to, sorry. Thank you. Real life flower for my daughter. Thank you. We were able to afford to invite a bunch of our volunteers, our alumni, current students and current families that typically we wouldn't be able to afford to do if we were paying a per head count at an in-person event. So that was really special, especially because it was our anniversary. And I also want to echo what Allison was saying about all of the content, because although with a virtual event, it's different in terms of your programming. You are creating all of this content in advance, but it did put us in the position of having lots of little videos and clips and different marketing pieces that we created specifically for the event, but we have totally reused them. And we were able to use them in the marketing of the event beforehand. So it gave us this great kind of library that we've been able to reuse, and that was fantastic.
So to wrap up the session today, the next and last thing is what's next for fundraising events in the next few months. Luckily and fortunately, a lot of things are feeling like going back to normal now, with COVID starting to be behind us, but it is still there and it's still real. And that needs to be considered for the next few months, especially with large scale fundraising events and galas and events where sometimes people attend that are have their immune system compromised or need to be careful. So that being said, we are trying to looking into what needs to be considered. We've come across the idea that we need to implement hybrid events and a hybrid concept for 20 and 21.
Yeah, so we are already planning our event. Our fall event obviously is not for a little while. It's in November, but we're already planning on a hybrid event. We don't know, the world is opening up, but we don't know what the world's going to look like in 6 months. And more than that, we also are really wanting to keep this opportunity for people, as many people as possible, to participate. And so having a hybrid event allows us to get back to the in-person part, which everyone is looking forward to, but also still be able to have people participate who aren't local or who couldn't potentially. We have a different kind of sponsorship package for the virtual event this year, and so that'll give an opportunity for people who couldn't necessarily afford an expensive in-person ticket but still want to participate. And like Allison said, not everyone's going to be comfortable. So this just allows us to continue to have, as many people in our community and who care about our organization be a part of it. And we already decided that we're going to be working with Cadence for our event in November. And this means that we're going to get to build on, the familiarity that people had with the platform from last year. And we'll be able to take advantage of, some of the new features that's coming up. We're going to continue to build out our site. People who are attending, whether they're attending in person or whether they're attending virtually, can get a chance to participate in some of the event features. If we do another photo booth, they can add content to the live feed. All of these things which just add to the build up and the excitement of the event as we get closer and closer. So it's going to be an interesting year. We're going to see where it takes us.
Yep, and the hybrid concept ranges. I mean, you can have it be laid out however you'd like to be laid out. We're working on a number of hybrid events for the fall as powered by professionals. So we have some clients like Project Mori that's looking to have an all-encompassing virtual component to the hybrid event and have this community that's building up to the event date and then into the live event portion of the night. And then we're having other clients who feel like they just want to have a little bit more simplified virtual component with streaming the site on their own and having a auction, a silent auction take place. So it really varies based on what you envision your event and your audience to see, but it's a great way to keep that virtual aspect alive. And like Shauna said, there's so many benefits that have come through the virtual world of these events that I don't feel that they're going to leave anytime soon, because it's just expanded so many opportunities for nonprofits and other companies to be able to expand beyond just their base audience that they had prior to COVID. So there's a lot of great creative ways that we can incorporate into these hybrid events and virtual events still to come. And we are looking forward to working with Project Mori this year. We're looking forward to working with Cadence this year. And we are looking forward to building out all these great events to come in 2021. So thank you again. If you have any questions about Powered by Professionals or Project Mori, please check us out. And thank you, Cadence, for having us involved in your collective this year.
Thank you.